You are now listening to the Mumbo Sauce Podcast.
Hell yeah.
Keeping it litty for the Chocolate City.
What's up, fam? This your man, Tony Tone. And you're tuned into the Mumbo Sauce Podcast. I know it's been a long time, but if you've been following us on YouTube and or IG, you will see that we have been busy. I myself dropped a project titled Slab City Volume 1, and Juice just dropped One Fit In Volume 4. Chachi working on a project. John and Chino, they finna drop their project soon. Also, I'm back shooting videos and producing again. Well, I should say making beats, because whether or not I make beats, I'm always producing. But anyways, if y'all don't understand that, I can explain that in another episode. But in this episode, I'm joined by firearm instructors Deuce Does and MD Ready as we talk about firearm ownership, gun safety, gun laws, and all of that in the black community, man. Let's get it. Mumbo Sauce Podcast.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's your man Deuce Does coming straight from the DMV, baby. We here with Mumbo Sauce Radio. We here with MD Ready, and me. I am your firearm instructor for today. What I do, I teach guns. I teach people responsible gun ownership. We qualify people for the Maryland HQL. We qualify people for the wear and carry class, Virginia, concealed carry, Florida. I'm a USCCA. I'm a USCCA certified instructor, firearm instructor. Working on my NRA certifications too. So we teach people how to shoot, basically. You know what I mean? We have beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes for people of all skill levels when it comes to firearms. We try to do some outreach, some community outreach when it comes to firearms. You know, trying to teach the youth how to shoot the right way. Just all around. Firearm advocate, Second Amendment advocate, self-protection advocate, right. And all black advocate. You know what I'm talking about?
All right, so why do you think that most people are scared to inquire about gun ownership in this area or in general, period?
I think it's a stigma. There's a stigma in the black community when it comes to firearms. When it comes to black people and firearms, if you got a gun and you're black and you're young, you're a gangster. Plain and simple. The first thing people think when they see a black man with a gun is, oh my God, he's going to rob me, he's going to kill me, he's going to rape me. And it's even black people. It's not just white people. It's been a stigma created that, like when Joe Biden did that, did his thing back then with the rifle ban. People went along with it, or when they did the war on crime. People went along with it, black and white people, because they were afraid. They wanted to try to find some change. And they just felt like these black guys with guns are running around, destroying our neighborhoods and stuff.
Right.
I just feel like, if there was more education in the community dealing with firearms, that stigma could kind of lift. And that's what we're out here doing now. We're trying to lift the stigma of black men with guns.
Right.
Show people with a gun, big, scary looking black guy to some people smiling from ear to ear with a gun. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of like the plan.
A lot of people are scared that they have to do like a whole lot of stuff in order to get a gun. Like they feel like they're gonna ask for a sample of their blood and you know what I'm saying, their social security number and some of their skin and all of that type of stuff, man. Like I guess give the listeners some insight on like how you can purchase a gun in Maryland.
Awesome. So it's actually a lot simpler than what people think. So I'm MD Ready. Me and Deuce work together to do our classes. He's an awesome guy. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Also jump on Mumbo Sauce. Guys, listen, I'm nobody special. I'm a corporate guy. I'm a gun fanatic, firearms instructor. So just like every day, I'm an average Joe.
Right.
I've supported multiple agencies, military agencies, law enforcement agencies, and the notion that it's hard to get a gun is a flat out lie.
Right.
But I'm not going to say it's easy to get a gun either, right? It's kind of that happy medium, right? So number one, you have to make sure that you're not a felon. Certain felonies can prevent you from getting your firearm and misdemeanors. But
right.
if you contact Deuce Does, he can show you how you can get around that. Because just because you get a felony does not mean you'll never be able to get a firearm.
See,
that's a lie.
Say that again for the people because I didn't even know that.
Just because you get a felony
right.
does not mean you'll never be able to get a gun. If you get it expunged or exonerated, depending on the type of felony, you can get your gun rights back. And that's something that they're not teaching people. Now, a lot of other races, like white folks, know this, but a lot of black people, they figure, oh, I did this, I did that. Like one of my homegirls, she hit me. She was like, that's in the business. She was like, well, I have a domestic charge. And I was like, well, what kind of domestic charge is it? And I gave her Deuce's contact information. Now, whether she reached out to him or not, That's on her. But do understand that if you lose a right, you can get it back. Because what's the purpose of you paying taxes if you can't even vote, you can't own a gun.
Right.
But anyway, getting back to what you were saying, it's not that hard to get a gun. In the state of Maryland, literally, go get your go take an H12 class, a handgun qualification license class. Okay, make sure you get fingerprinted. Then once your stuff comes back, I've had students get their stuff back within 2 weeks now. It's getting crazy. You are able to actually go and purchase your regulated firearm. Now you won't be like going to Lowe's getting a hammer and get it that same day. There will be a waiting period. And we offer consulting service that we can actually walk a person through step by step on how to do that.
How long is the waiting period in Maryland?
7 days.
Yeah, 7 days. Yeah.
7 days?
7 to 10 business days, but it's only supposed to be 7 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would just want everybody to understand that it's different in Maryland than it is in other states because in Virginia, you can just go there, buy the junk, they do a background check, and if everything checks out fine and they ain't got to go through all of this stuff, then you can just get your firearm right then and there. You know what I mean? But so Maryland is a 7-day waiting period. Okay. Also, when it's the 7-day waiting period, do they give it to you after you? Do you have to have the HQL class first, or before they can even give it to you at all? Okay.
Yes. You just go in there looking.
If
you literally you going in the window shopping,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you and that's one thing we kind of stress to our students. That's one thing that I really, and I know Marcus does as well.
Right.
That you have got to know the laws for the different states you're going to be traveling.
Right.
in.
Yeah.
Because the laws change from state to state.
Right.
Quite literally, all of us who are familiar with the DMV, we know that Eastern Avenue, Southern Avenue, those streets are actually boundary lines between DC and Maryland.
Right.
So let's say you're traveling down Southern Avenue,
Right.
and you have a Maryland concealed carry license, but you cross the street over onto the DC side. Now, if you get pulled over, you're going to have a felony carrying a pistol without a license. And so, speaking of that, what Marcus was talking about earlier about people getting their rights back, I actually had to do that. August the 20th, 2004, I was convicted of carrying a pistol without a license.
Right.
Unregistered firearm, unregistered ammunition.
Right.
And so since then, I kind of stayed out the way. I didn't get in any more trouble. I had some stuff, some petty stuff on there, traffic violations, stupid stuff.
Right.
But then I got everything expunged and sealed.
Right.
After I got everything expunged and sealed, I was able to go forth and get my HQL. And I've just recently obtained my wear and carry license in Maryland.
Right.
So this is a shout out to everybody out there who has a record. You know, I can't guarantee that you can have it fixed or clean.
Yeah.
Some things cannot be wiped off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
So all my brothers out there, I know the struggle. I know what you're going through. I was there. I was in your shoes. I cleaned up my act, and now I'm trying to help people out.
See, Jay, people need to hear that, man, because I think a lot of people have misconceptions, that if they go inside a gun store and try to get a gun, they gonna get locked up on the spot or something like that.
No, I
You know
thought
what I'm
that
saying?
too, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I thought they was gonna run in my house, shoot my dog in the middle of the morning, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's not. The ATF doesn't even really prosecute people coming in. They really don't even chase after them.
Right.
You know, I don't know why. Because there's so many erroneous denials. They deny people who who aren't prohibited people at all. They just deny them because they got the same name as someone who might have something on their record.
Yeah.
So because of that, they don't even prosecute or chase or anything.
Like a false positive. You
Right.
get like a false, like if you have a similar name. Like a buddy of mine's, Antoine, he had to wait.
Yeah.
Because somebody that came in to buy a gun the same day as him, they had the same name, but the guy, similar name, but the guy had a bad background. So they made him wait. They said come back in 3 days. But they took care of him. So, but it was a false positive that popped up. So things like that happen.
Yeah. Why do y'all think that gun safety is important for black people?
Save lives. Same answer.
Okay, same
Save
answer,
lives.
same question. Save lives.
So
Yeah.
I think actually, and I definitely agree with what Deuce says, but gun ownership is really important in the black community because for so long we were not able to own guns after
Yeah.
slavery. They're like gun. So the gun laws have a racist background anyway, right? It was never designed
Laws,
for
period.
Yeah. So it was never designed. Well, it was never designed for us to
Yeah.
own guns, have a
Yeah.
knife, or anything of that nature, right?
All gun control laws are racist.
They are.
Yeah.
They're definitely racist, and they hit us harder than any other type of community.
Okay.
Right? So we get discriminated upon the most. We get told no the most, so that we can and can't do things. But so these gun laws came out because people were scared of the fact that blacks may overthrow things, right? So since we have the ability to do so, we need to make sure that we don't take that for granted. We need to take advantage of this opportunity. And a lot of us have a fear when it comes to firearms because a lot of us know people who've been involved in a gun-related crime or incident. But people act like they get in a car accident and they stop driving. Just because you may have been involved in something, something bad may have happened, doesn't mean you don't need to protect yourself. People call the police because they have a gun. Don't worry about call the police, but make sure you take care of your own personal safety because it's your responsibility.
Now I'm gonna ask each one of y'all, and I'm gonna answer this too. You know what I'm saying? But what point in your life did you say I need to get a gun legally?
Honestly, man, I've been strapped since I was 16 years old. Let's just keep it one bill. I always have to give this disclaimer. I was not no stick-up kid. I was not no robber. I just grew up in a neighborhood where my peers were dying left and right. You know what I'm saying? I got so many homies who didn't even make it out of their teenage years because of gun violence. And see, I'm not even one of them people who say, oh, gun violence, gun violence, gun violence. No, I'm saying it's gun violence. Go get a firearm, learn how to use it so that you can protect yourself. You know what I mean? So, but to answer, I want to go back to that question earlier because this is kind of resonating on my mind.
Yeah.
I feel like the firearm is important in the black community because if it wasn't for the gun, we wouldn't have our freedom right now. Let's keep it real. If it wasn't for the Civil War, if it wasn't for us having to go to war to get our freedom, we would not be free in this country right now.
So you saying that basically like those days of just marching and all of that is over.
Man, that's dead issue, man.
You know what I mean? People only respect. I'm not even gonna say violence, but people only respect you when they see that you mean business, basically. You know what I mean?
You know what, man? I did some research. I come to find out that in history, the thug, the robber, has more social standing and status than the businessman. What do people react to? People don't react to love.
They only react to violence.
That's it.
They step on it. They don't care about your love.
Yeah.
That's
If
it.
you're serious with them, they know you ain't playing no games.
Exactly.
Malcolm X said in one of his speeches in 1964, 1963, right before he was assassinated, it's time to stop singing and start swinging. We're done with all the BS. I'm not telling people to do the crap that the Proud Boys did on the Capitol, but at the end of the day, us black folks have to come together and unite and let people know that we're not just toilet paper. We're not here for temporary satisfaction and to be flushed.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of black folks do with these politicians. They give them their vote. They don't hold them accountable.
Yeah.
They wipe your ass with their vote, and then they do the same thing as Biden is doing. Use black people to get in, and then he focuses on illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The population is bigger, and they're going to keep him in the White House. Yeah. But I'm not going to get on politics. But I'm just saying, like us, we need to take responsibility for our safety.
Right.
We need to come together and stop all this crazy that we've been taught generationally to hurt each other. Because a lot of times, brothers go to jail over crimes they committed against who? Their own folks.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm tired of singing Kumbaya. I'm tired of holding hands and singing Kumbaya. I ain't gonna stunt. I watched this. I watched in the 5th grade. I saw Eyes on the Prize, a civil rights documentary. When I saw what they did to Emmett Till, you know what I'm saying? It put me in the mindset. I was a child at the time. I was in the 5th grade. He was 13 when that happened to him. When I saw what they did to him, I felt like they could have did it to me. And then I keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again, just in different aspects. Instead of like some group, some crazy group, some random group, it's the damn cops doing the killing now. They might not be putting people at the bottom of rivers, but they don't have to now. They just leave you in the middle of the street with your body uncovered like Michael Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like Marcus said, we need to start holding these people accountable. And also, to a point, I kind of understand what those Proud Boys and all them did running down on the Capitol.
I understand too because they trying to, fight for they taxpayers and everybody like everybody else too, and they feel that they're not, being heard. So they showing that they mean business.
Exactly.
So I understand, but that's twofold. It's also to show that white supremacy is real. And
absolutely. Don't get it twisted. Had they been black, would have been a thousand dead bodies laid out there.
But then you know what? That's the problem. The people we have. Honestly, personally, I think we have lost the American gusto.
Yeah.
I think we have lost that flavor.
You talking about us as a people?
Just the whole country, black, white, orange, green, red, whoever. This country was built on the people bucking the system.
Yeah.
The system didn't work. They stood up to the system. We are not standing up to nothing nowadays. And that kind of pissed me off.
I feel everybody a bunch of chumps these days, man. Folks are so scared because they don't want to offend people. It's okay to be offensive, right? Just be honest.
I can respect the honest racist.
Ice Cube did a talk that he did back in the early 90s when he was saying the reason why we are in the situation we are now when it comes to how the black man and woman is portrayed is because we don't own none of the media outlets. Mm-hmm. But now that's changed because guess what? You're doing a podcast right now. Yeah. Nobody can control what you put out. Mm-hmm. But the problem is so many people want the opinion and the pat on the back that you did a good job from these racist folks that don't give a daggone about us. Like, I'm not gonna throw no names out there, but we know these people that do all they can to make sure that master pat them on the back and give them a raise. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your voice is your voice, and if they're trying to control the narrative, once somebody controls what you say, they start to control what you think.
But see, I think that yeah, we got podcasts and we got stuff like that, but it's also it's not on our own networks and our own systems.
Absolutely.
And then they can control that way by saying, oh, this is hate speech. This is such and such. But this country was founded on that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like this country is real contradictory.
Oh,
Number one. And number two, like, because they say, you know what I'm saying, it's like, oh, okay, weed is cool now. Oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't at first. You know what I mean?
What about my cousin that got locked up a minute ago? You want to drop their charge or give them some type of reimbursement?
Exactly.
No reimbursement, but they supposed to be dropping charges and expunging and all. That's what the MORE Act was. You know what I'm saying? Because what is it? Marijuana something in expungement. On the back end, they're going to expunge records, but at the same time, that doesn't give back the time that you lost from your family, from your life, from being able to develop and being able to grow, being able to learn, being able to work and provide for your future and your family's future. That doesn't give back none of that crap. They're not going to give it back. I mean, it's just, all right, look, I put it like this, right? See, you got to take yourself, I try to take myself out the shoes of a black man. I even try to take myself out the shoes of American. And I just think, just as a person, as someone else looking at America, you know what I'm saying? Or looking at other people's situations, things that happen in other places. I just kind of think like, it's not right. It's not what it is. But this is the mindset. I don't ever sit here and ask, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why don't they do this? Why are they treating us like this?
You know
Not even that.
Okay.
I put myself in that mind frame of, if I was a king, would I want somebody destroying my kingdom? Right. Would I want somebody coming to take my power, take everything away from me?
Right.
As a king, no. I'm gonna protect my kingdom. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure my kingdom succeeds, and that my seeds, my children, can maintain that power and hold that power.
We had the civil rights movement. Now it seems like the world is one big hashtag. Like everybody wants to have a movement. Like, oh, gay rights movement. Oh, Black Lives Matter. It's like every week is something different. You know what I'm saying? That's why this country is
community.
Yeah, this country is pussy because everybody is sensitive. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now everybody wants to have a movement and everybody wants to be heard, but that's where it stops. But for the most part, it's just like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Oh, let's paint the street. Oh, we done with it now. You know what I'm saying? That's enough. You know what I'm saying?
And what does that mean? You get nothing from that. That means nothing.
Nothing. It blows me because I'm a man of action. If I say I want to do something, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna follow through until it's over with. I'm not just gonna do something partially, get part of it done.
Right.
And then, all right, so like let's say with my concealed carry license.
Right.
Let's say, okay, I took the class, got that out the way, got my fingerprints out the way. Now I'm just not gonna do nothing. Like that's it.
Right.
I feel like I've accomplished something. No, you haven't. The work's not over. It's not done. You still have more stuff to do. So that was just. I'm not gonna lie. I want to go. I haven't even been in DC because I didn't have my license. I don't go nowhere without my gun. So if I can't take my gun, I don't go. So I haven't been to DC in a while. But I do want to go and see the Black Lives Matter Plaza and all that stuff. But for real, what else is it really doing? What else are they doing? How are you going to continue to fight? It's not over. We still getting beat down. We're still getting killed in the street. Inequality is still a thing. And, it's crazy, man.
I just want to share with the people real quick, man, why I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I needed to get a legal firearm. One day, man, I was coming home, man, and I guess it was a party going on in the neighborhood, and a car, like I had seen my brother, like I guess he was going to the party. And at the time, this is old school, man, so I ain't had no power locks in my car. So I seen my brother, I'm like, hey man, come in. So I beat the horn, he come in, and he get in the car, and we like, it's like the basketball court is right here, so it's only like a little bit of space for a car that's behind you to go around. And I'm like sticking my hand out the window, like, go ahead and pass me. So the car passed me. And when I'm done talking to my brother, like I said, I ain't got no power windows, I ain't got no power locks, so my doors are still unlocked. I try to go and turn around in the cul-de-sac to go back to the house. So the car that I told to pass me, they have like blocked me in. You know what I'm saying? They hopped out the cars with guns and bats and shit, and opened my door and was like, "Hey, you the nigga that broke into my sister fucking car?" And I'm like, I had my uniform on because I just came from work.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that saved me. You know what I mean? But I didn't have no firearm. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to turn that back in at work. You know what I'm saying? But if I did, you know what I'm saying, that would have been a totally different story, and that would have been justified. That next day, I went and got, you know what I'm saying, the firearm, and I, you know what I'm saying, got concealed weapons permit.
So what scares the hell? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say, I think I kind of realized, you know, I always wanted to be able to have a firearm, right? I always wanted, no matter what, I kept one with me, blah, blah, blah. But once I got older and started realizing, like, look, I ain't trying to go to jail.
Right.
I don't want to get out there.
Right. But
I
you
don't
want to
need
live.
no
You know?
right, and I want to live.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like it was right that I couldn't protect myself legally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I felt like I needed to find out what I needed to do to be able to protect myself legally. I've been through, we can cuss on here?
Yeah.
All right, I've been through so much shit in my life. I've been jumped, stabbed, shot at, all types of shit.
Man, you and me both.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not a thing where, to me, violence or a situation where my life might be in danger is so far-fetched.
Right.
That's a reality. We must, I think we need to remember where we are. We're in the DMV, baby.
Yeah.
We coined the phrase, the murder capital.
Yeah.
Literally,
Used to
DC
be
coined
the
that
murder
phrase.
capital, yeah.
No, we coined that phrase.
Yeah.
It was Murder City before it got to DC.
Oh, murder capital.
Once it got to DC, they started calling it the murder capital. So, you know, we live in an area, I've seen a murder, you know, cops was right there. Literally, the cops was right there. It was at a go-go. Cops was right there. Guys started shooting in the parking lot, and the cops followed people out, and the same cop came right back in the parking lot. Didn't catch no one. Okay? My little homie Charlie got shot in front of the police. Okay? So this is not a place where I feel like violence is so far-fetched. I feel like violence could be around any corner we walk down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I just decided that I was going to protect myself regardless.
Right.
Period. Now I'm a big dude, 6'3", 300-something pounds.
Yeah.
I can throw these hands.
Yeah.
But I can't throw my hands at a bullet.
Right.
That ain't gonna work. And the guy who's smaller than me gonna look up like I'm not gonna let his big ass whoop my ass.
Right.
I'm about to bust this.
And that's what the mentality is of the youngins. And I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Like these days, you know, I might have a little Glock or something like that. I might be carrying a little 380 or something like that. But these youngins out here got illegal shit. They got motherfucking AK-47s, motherfucking with drums and Dracos and shit.
And they
like,
actually getting their real assault rifles, which will be machine guns.
Yeah,
These cats
they
are
got
getting
the
real machine
motherfucking
guns.
switch on their shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all niggas good? Like y'all out here with
What is
the
going
choppers,
on?
like
What is going on?
I mean, that's just how I was. I remember we used to sit on my porch strapped up. I'm talking about 8, 9 niggas strapped up.
yeah, but I'm
strapped.
talking about assault rifles though.
Yeah, we didn't have
Real assault
Yeah,
rifles.
yeah.
Not the bullshit that Joe Biden trying to ban. Not
Right.
just semi-automatic. He talking about you having the thirds, the selector switch, where you go from semi to full.
So,
That kind of
nah,
shit.
so
we
what
ain't
my
had that.
point is, and I'm not trying to glorify that. What I'm trying to say is, if people got that type of shit and their shit is not legal, and you're trying to live and you're trying to stay alive and you're trying to, you know, provide for your family and shit like that, then it is important for people to get, you know what I'm saying, they shit the right way. They, you know,
Right.
for them to get a firearm, because you don't know, man. People are crazy out here. I stay out the way. You say you don't go to DC, you know what I'm saying, because you don't, you know, you can't carry your shit yet. Then I feel you. I don't go to places where I feel like it's gonna be some wild stuff going on.
See, I
But
ain't
That's just
tripping
wisdom.
over that.
That's just wisdom.
That is wisdom, but I'm not even tripping. I gotta go where I gotta go. And man, this
you
thing,
gotta go where you gotta go. Yeah.
So we getting ready to start doing executive protection. I was just offered a job to go to a couple different states, Georgia, Florida, New York, not New York, but Georgia, Florida, Pennsylvania, and a couple other places. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't stay out the way. I gotta be in the way. I gotta be. I gotta put myself in that way.
That was my
you know
next
what I'm
point,
saying?
though. Also, you can try to stay out the way all day long,
It'll
but
come
you
to you.
never
It'll
know
find
what's
you.
gonna happen.
It'll
You
find
know
you.
what I mean?
True.
Like I said, I was minding my business
Yeah,
on my
they
way
pulled up
home,
the
off from work, and you know what I'm saying. Somebody opened my door, so
And you know what's interesting? You brothers had an experience. I have not had an experience. I grew up in the suburbs. I mean, we got little petty fights here and there in school and stuff like that. But my parents, we moved out of like the city when I was 12. We moved to the suburbs. But I can still relate because I got family who lived on Staten Road. Yeah, that's a rough spot. Oh, yeah. And I would go there every summer, not by choice. I was voluntold to go there every summer.
What I was talking about is on Staten Road.
Oh yeah. So my thing is, and my interest in guns actually came from the fact both my parents were retired military police officers, right? Yeah. So I've been around guns my entire life, and I just had a weird obsession with them. I just knew that they can protect me, but I also can feed myself with it, and I also could just have fun. Mm-hmm. Like, people don't realize the Second Amendment was not designed for you to hunt. It got nothing to do with hunting. Mm-hmm. It's for you to protect yourself and your family from a tyrannical government, and for you to just have the liberty to do what you want. Mm-hmm. Like, for real, like, there should be no laws associated with gun. There should be no gun control. Mm-hmm. For you to have the right to bear arms. That's it. So, I mean, that's just my thing. So, I didn't have the same experience you had when it came to firearms, guys. But my thing is, because of me just having that sixth sense, when something's not right, I get the hell out of here. Right. I'm always the guy, like in an event where I'm usually close to the exit. Right. I'm always looking. I may look a little paranoid, but if something don't seem right, it just happened on the 4th of July last year. We was at my lady's mother's house, and I was telling her, "Let's roll."
I think you told me.
I was like, "Let's roll," and she was like, "I'm talking to my mom." When we left there, a guy got killed within 30 minutes. Something didn't seem right. It was a shootout that happened. We don't know what it was or whatever it may be, but like when something's not right, your gut is telling you something. You better listen. That's God. Actually, God is telling you, move.
We teach one of the things we teach in our class, in the concealed carry class or any shooting class we're gonna teach, is conflict avoidance.
Yes.
One of the biggest.
I was gonna get into that. That's the safety portion of it, like you said, being aware.
Yes.
Go ahead.
One of the biggest things is conflict avoidance. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to diffuse a situation before it gets started. Absolutely. I mean, that's very important, man. You know, it's been times where man, you can see the steam coming out my ears. I probably got steam coming out my eyes like a cartoon character.
Right.
But man, I've been ready to, what'd you say? Smack a spark out of niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Can we speak a little bit about the safety portion of it?
So I was going to give you an example of conflict avoidance happening when I first got my wearing carry. Because a lot of times, so one of the things that I've heard that happens is sometimes when people get their concealed carry, wearing carry in the current state, they become like, they think they're a superhero, right? Nah, you actually become more of a liability because more things is on your shoulder. So I was coming from Walmart in Clinton, and I was trying to get in the right lane, and it's kind of an odd story, but the lady didn't realize that that I was trying to get over. So when I saw her, I just kind of slowed down. She slowed down. I sped up. She sped up. She rolled her window down, and she was rolling her neck. I guess she wanted me to hear what she had to say, but I just didn't want to hear it. So I rolled my window up and smiled. There's nothing to talk about. When we got to a stop, this woman opened her door, bro. And she had something in her hand. I didn't wait around. I illegally drove around traffic, and I evaded the situation because I didn't want to put myself in a situation. Because if I saw something, look, that's somebody's mother, somebody's aunt, somebody's whoever. But at the end of the day, you're not stronger than the bullet. And I don't know what you told me. She could have had a gun or whatever, so I just got away because I didn't want to put myself in a messy situation. You know, so sometimes you might feel like a punk. I've talked to people, they feel like a punk when they avoid certain stuff, but your blood stays in your body, like USCCA stays, and like they say, and also you stay home with your family out of jail where you belong. And that money stay in your pocket.
I mean, for real, for the most part, bro, it's like. That's a life skill, actually. You know what I'm saying? Being able to avoid a conflict or resolve a conflict, that's a life skill that people should be able to take with them. They can use that in their family life and their home life. And also, just because you have a gun doesn't mean you have to use it.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple, you know what I'm saying? Just because you have a gun does not mean that you have to use it at all whatsoever. There are other ways to diffuse situations other than whipping out your banger and then pointing it at somebody or showing it or you trying to use it to get somebody to back up off you. Unless I'm telling you, we touched on a couple points earlier. So I think I should say it. We touched on the 4 handgun safety rules.
Right.
For those who don't know them, we're gonna go over that. And the main thing, the use of deadly force. I want all y'all out there to listen to this right now.
Yeah, that's important because you can get the gun, but is you gonna be shooting everybody just because they you know what I'm saying, like
some people might
jump at you like this, so you know what I mean? So let's go over it, man.
So the use of deadly force rule states that you must be in fear, I say imminent, immediate fear of great bodily harm, serious injury, or death. Absolutely. All right? You have to, those things have to be in place. If those things are not in place, you are not you're not supposed to use deadly force. And if you use deadly force, you will go to jail. They will lock your ass up. Even if you have a license, it doesn't matter. They will lock you the fuck up. Don't think it's a game. And that's white or black people. They do the same shit, but you know how it is. You know, we're going to get it more than anybody else. Let's keep it real. But you have got to be in immediate fear of death, great bodily harm, or serious injury.
So that means if you a little guy and somebody like him is coming up on your ass with a bat, you know what I'm saying, or some shit, you know what I mean, about to whoop your motherfucking ass, man.
Here's an example of that, right? Someone who's about, I'm 6'3", 300 plus pounds, right?
Yeah.
Someone who's 5'5", about 150.
Exactly.
That's me.
If I were to approach them and try to start beating on them, they could shoot me and they would be fine. But if the situation was reversed, I couldn't shoot them.
Exactly.
Because they'd be like, that person wasn't going to harm. They don't know if that person's a kung fu judo star. Hit me one time, knock me out, make my head hit the ground and kill me. I'm not Superman. But now let's say for a woman.
Exactly.
If a guy was to approach a woman, she would have more leeway to defend herself than if that woman approached a guy and the guy tried to defend himself with a firearm. So also, let's go over the full rules of firearm safety for y'all as a tip. But y'all have got to remember, just because you have a gun, does not mean that you are supposed to use that gun for every situation.
Right.
You have got to be in
immediate.
Yeah. That means right now. It's happening right now. Not that he said he gonna kill you. Not that he said he coming back with the banger. None of that. He's in your face with a knife, a bat, a gun.
Choking you out.
Something. Immediate fear of death, grave bodily harm, or serious injury.
Now somebody say they're gonna kill you, but believe them though. Believe them if they say they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Just leave and but you ain't gotta rip your gun out and just shoot them to death or nothing like that, because you will go to prison.
Right.
So
much as you would love to slap the shit out of that bitch ass.
Don't even do that, because they might call the police on you. They might call the police on when you slap the shit out of them.
And you gotta play these things back in your mind, like, you know what I'm saying, am I gonna be justified in this situation? And now if you in an immediate situation, of course, that's different. You need to do what you gotta do to survive, you know what I mean? Sure. But I'm saying, if you get into an argument or something like that and it's not worth it, it's not worth you, because you're gonna have to pay lawyer fees. You know, you might lose your motherfucking house paying lawyer fees just to prove that, you know, you were justified in your actions, you know what I mean? So that's what I want y'all to take away. Like, it, you know, just because you know, legally can carry a burner don't mean that you gotta be telling everybody, you gotta be acting like you about to just shoot anybody because of anything, man. But you got a great deal of responsibility. You got the power to end somebody's life in your fingertips. Yeah.
You just made a great point I want to touch on real quick. You said about the fact as far as using it, right? People need to understand those 5 to 10 seconds that the incident happened, the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, the district attorney, they have days, weeks, months to negotiate and determine what your fate, years to determine what your fate is going to be. So understand that when somebody's jaw jacking, talking off the mouth, talking crazy, talking they gonna do all of this stuff. If they talking, they ain't done nothing. They probably ain't gonna do anything. Don't escalate the situation.
Don't escalate.
Don't escalate it. Get yourself, because the second you become the aggressor, or it's even if you do something and you stop the threat, you will be held accountable to the highest degree.
So, like, as an example, let's say you were in fear, right? Let's say it started out that everything was in place for you to use your firearm justifiably, right?
Right.
Let's say the person had a knife, they were attacking you, you hit them in the stomach maybe twice, they dropped the knife. You gotta stop shooting.
You gotta stop.
You gotta stop
immediately.
Because if you keep going,
then they gonna look at you like you Marilyn Manson, Charlie Manson, somebody. Like, why did you shoot him 35 times though?
Exactly.
Or I had to make sure that the threat was stopped.
Like, well, I had a 20-round magazine and a 15-round magazine. I just had to use all my bullets.
Because then it goes from self-defense to murder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just teaching a class yesterday, and I was talking, because, you know, when my uncle's in the class, Unc probably don't want to carry a gun after the class. Unc in the store, when you start shooting, you just keep shooting.
Right,
but anyway, we had to show Unc that you will go to prison.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I told her.
What was the scenario?
I think one of our scenarios was, listen, somebody breaking your house, they hit you or they hurt you, do whatever they do, you shoot them and they stop. He's like, I unload the whole clip. I was like, no, no.
You don't say shit like that, and you don't say shit
you
like,
can't say
well,
that.
I had to kill him. Like
No,
the word kill.
no.
Don't ever say the word kill.
Stop the threat. You
You're
only stop the
stopping-
threat.
right, you
only
stopping the
stop the
threat.
threat.
Yeah.
But people gotta realize, like, if you got raped, if your husband was beating your ass,
Yeah.
if somebody came up to you and stabbed you, and you pulled the gun out and they dropped the knife, immediately you de-escalate the situation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
You gotta
that mean you can't be like, bang, because you're going to prison. you going to prison because the funny thing
I
is
would even get. I'm sorry to cut you
No, you
off,
go-
but I would even get help for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you know CPR or something like that, call the police. Make sure you know what I'm saying.
You're not obligated to, but you can.
Yeah.
But you're not obligated to.
Yeah.
One of the first things you should do is get to safety.
Yeah.
Get yourself to safety, get your
Yeah.
family to safety, and then make the phone calls to 911.
Yeah.
Make the phone calls to your lawyer. Make the phone calls to your family, and tell your family to tell them that this is some game right here from the class.
Exactly.
Y'all get-
Exactly.
Tell the people. Tell your family to say that you do not consent to a search. They would not consent to a search, and they don't want to speak to anyone. They won't speak to any press, any police officers without your lawyer present. All right, so y'all remember that too. You're not obligated. You can though.
Yeah.
You can, and if you do, I mean, more power.
The thing is, people don't realize this too.
Yeah.
You understand that was one threat. What if they're working with the team?
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Don't be the person and put yourself in an unsafe situation. And when you're talking to the police, only talk about the threat and nothing else. Don't talk about your actions.
Right,
Let
at
your
all.
lawyer fight
Right.
that battle. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
don't be the person, because one of my guys told me, he's a DC police officer. He was saying that sadly he had to lock a guy up who justifiably stopped the threat. But the dude said this motherfucker broke in my house and I shot this shit up. Just talking, running his mouth. And he said by the time the dude realized, because he said he was giving the dude the eye so he could like, shut the F up.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, like, be quiet. But he said before he knew it, his excitement went down. He was like, damn.
Damn, I talk too much.
And they had enough evidence to lock the dude up.
Oh,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? And that was rough, man, because you got to think about it. Now the dude got to get a lawyer. He said everything that happened there was like that dude was in there to do harm. All he had to do was shut the F up.
Right.
So, but nah, man, don't say no more than what you need to. Less is best when dealing with the police officers. and if you black, you definitely understand that less is best. So,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
but yeah.
I mean, it's important, man. It's important now. Also, too, it's important. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why Marcus is doing what he's doing. We're not really. Both of us have other businesses. Both of us have other. Well, I don't do jobs. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Both of us have other ways of making money. This is not our main source of income. We are doing this because we believe in self-defense. We believe in the preservation of our community. We believe in the preservation of our people.
Right.
We believe that our people have got to start taking responsibility for their own defense in many ways, shapes, and forms. I'm not even going to put everything out there that I feel right now, but trust me, I feel like it's time for us to really start taking responsibility and protecting ourselves from all types of predators in our community. Let's just put it like that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can understand what I'm saying if you really think it deep enough.
Man,
And if you're
them
not,
predators is really showing their ass right now.
And
telling
they
you, ain't they
showing,
though?
and they
they
showing, and
don't
they're
even
happy.
give a fuck.
They happy to show. So
Yeah.
I want to throw this out there, right? So I want y'all to ponder on this. In white communities, Hispanic communities, I'm just gonna say white and Asian communities, the lockups and all the craziness and crime is not as bad and big and prevalent as in the black communities, because they
At all.
police their own communities.
At all.
We got to police
See.
our own communities. What we do is we say there's crime in our community. The anti-gun people come and say, okay, we're gonna stop the crime. We're gonna get rid of all the guns in the community. We're gonna have this buyback and all this other stuff.
Right.
They hire officers who aren't from our community to police
come
our
in,
community.
yeah.
And then people like us say, we hate police. And I tell people all the time, okay, you hate the police, become a police and make change. Okay, because the only way that you're gonna make a change is by doing the same thing the Klan do, infiltrate the police department.
Yeah.
Infiltrate these and affect our community.
Right.
So be the good guy and go and become a police officer.
That's
Teach
right.
people, show, like
agree.
speak game into community, because what happens is they have connections.
Yeah.
You got to think the pseudo good cops don't lock everybody up. They got informants that help them solve crimes.
Right.
Okay, and then we have this thing in black community, no snitching rule. You know, I feel a certain type of way on that, because if it's a bad, evil person doing stuff, they need to be held accountable. I don't care who you
I
are.
put it like this: if you're in that life, that no snitching rule goes for the people in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
All right, it's for the people in the life, and of course it stretches to the communities because they force it on the
They
community.
force it on people.
I'm glad
Right.
y'all brought this up, man, because I was talking about this the other day, man.
What, the no snitching rule?
Yeah, man. It's like I feel like it applies to
Touch
people
22.
in the lifestyle, but at the same time, like, I don't. All right, so for an example, you know what I'm saying? You looking at Tekashi 6ix9ine videos and shit like that on YouTube, and there's a bunch of people in the comments like, oh, this is snitching, that's snitching. I refuse to let a 16-year-old motherfucker from the suburbs, you know what I'm saying, try to tell me what's
from the burbs.
You know what I'm saying? Not even the fact that anyway, from the suburbs. I'm just saying, like, you not even about this life, and you trying to tell what 6ix9ine did or what Meek Mill did is snitching. Like, who the fuck is you?
A keyboard clown. Keyboard clown.
And see, that's what the black community do. You know, I think the no snitching thing started from slavery. You know, because you have house niggas and you have field niggas, and you know,
you just got niggas too.
Yeah, you just got niggas. But I don't want to say the word nigga, but I'm just saying, like, in slavery, you know what I'm saying, there was people in the field and people in the house, and you know, you had to get, like, do certain shit, like maybe like, oh, I grabbed this pie, or I got a little, you know, bit of corn, you know what I'm saying, so we can have, like, you know, later on that there's somebody, you know, the house nigga wanna, you know, tell on the field nigga like, oh, you know, Mr. Jones got that corn, you know what I'm saying, thinking that he gonna get a reward, you know what I'm saying, but Mr. Jones' ass is hung now, you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So now everybody looking at you like, oh, why you snitching, you know what I mean?
It's crazy, man. I mean, we've been stigmatized in so many different ways for so many different things. Like, the whole thug lifestyle was pushed upon us, forced upon us. And now, I think our youth are feeling like, even though we don't use the term thug life no more,
right.
I think the youth is still going for that gangster lifestyle. And let's keep it real. Let's keep it totally real. Yeah. Gangsters are held in high esteem by every flipping culture.
It's cool. Everybody wants to be cool because
look at the mafia.
Yes.
Look at the mafia. Yeah. And also, too, hold on, let's say this too. Yeah. Gangsters are running this fucking world.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it
What's
real.
the biggest gang? What's the biggest gang in the U.S.? The
damn police.
The law.
But, you know, I don't know. I think that the music, all of that stuff, they've infiltrated that. They've infiltrated the music industry to have these rappers say, oh, Molly Percocet, you know what I'm saying? Do this,
subliminal
do
message,
that.
subliminal messages.
Kill this nigga, do that. You know.
I kind of realized it's two things to that, right? Number one, our generation, we were the hustlers.
Yeah.
This generation, they're the users. Our generations was selling the shit. This generation is using the shit. Secondly, I feel like they're crying out for help.
Yeah. They are users, shit like when your mind is fucked up off of them substances, you don't know how to think for yourself.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
You know
like, they're crying out for help.
Yeah.
And these songs, all you hear is Percocet, Molly Percocet. That's all. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga, are you serious?
There's nothing behind it. Like no tangibles behind it. It's nothing
not even doing the shit.
Exactly.
Who's popping? Like, why are you? What's so fucked up in your life that you need to be popping prescription fucking psychotic pills, bro?
Back to slavery again. When we talk about like buck breaking and all that other stuff, right? Where the masses would rape the slaves in front of people, where they would push certain things on them and certain beliefs on them. And you, like you talked about, the house niggas and the field niggas, you would get a reward system, right? So when these rich people who run the entertainment industry, these Jewish people, whoever it is, because I'm not Nick Cannon, I'm not afraid of none of this crap, right? So when these people who run the system, they say, we want you to rap about this. Oh, good job, you sold these records. Do this. Like, for instance, I got a daughter. I don't want her out there singing the WAP song. I don't want her to sing.
My phone dropped off of that.
Your phone was like, I'm dead. I don't want my daughter singing the WAP song. I don't want my sons talking about that they want to kill some niggas, shoot niggas, all this other stuff, right? So I'm not knocking some of the rappers from the late 90s when it went from like actual being a lyricist to talk about ignorance, but that stuff started to sell. That stuff started to sell, it started to get the attention of people, and like he said before, it's not just black people, listen to it, it's all races, right? And the thing is, it's cool to be gangster, but at the end of the day, a lot of races want to have fun being black, but they don't want the problems of being black,
exactly.
Right? They know there's
somewhere, like I said earlier on YouTube, talking about street shit that been happening in Chirac on O Block, and they, you know what I'm saying, somewhere in Calabasas or something like, oh, he was snitching on so, you know what I mean? Like,
no idea.
Who the fuck is you? Like, really, people out here really losing their lives, and you know what I'm saying? Then you got people like us that, you know what I'm saying, have to protect ourselves from living in that environment because, you know, sometimes you don't really have no choice where you live at the moment. You know
absolutely. You're born into an environment that you can't control.
I remember we were going to a party, right? And we were teenagers back there. We going to some house party. and we had got some Philly blunts. That's how
Old school.
we got Philly blunts. And this guy was like, man, let me get one of your blunts. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, who's you?
He like, nah, we knew him. We knew he was
okay.
a neighborhood dude. You know what I'm saying? We knew him. He's like, man, let me get one of your blunts. Like, give me 50 cents. Like, yeah. And then he's like, nah, man, let me get one of your blunts. Yeah. I'm like, all right, let me get 50 cents.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, nigga, you gonna give me your blunt? What?
What?
Man, this nigga pulled a gun out on me.
Just for
and was going to shoot me over a blunt. My homie was like, no, here, you can have one of mine. Cause I'm like, nigga, cause I wasn't gonna give it to you. In my lunchbox ass still talking about, no, I wasn't gonna give it to you, blah, blah, blah. See, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, you need to know your temperament, what type of person you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've had to chill out from that person that would tell a nigga who got a gun on me, no, I'm still not giving you my shit.
Yeah, me too, man.
To the type of person to be like, you know what? You got it, home. So you just had that, blah, 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 blah.
You know, it takes you to realize that because, see, well, you gotta understand, like, when you growing up in these communities, man, like, shit might be fucked up. Niggas might be having bad days every day. You don't know. They mom might be on drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like, they done put eviction notices on their motherfucking door. They lost their job. Yeah.
Somebody got sick.
Lights out, you know what I'm saying? So people be fucked up, you know what I'm saying? And everybody majority of everybody in that environment is fucked up.
But don't make it somebody else's problem though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But don't make, you know.
But see, if they had common sense, then they wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But
that is true.
Common sense ain't common.
Yeah, it ain't common.
It ain't. It's like deodorant. The motherfuckers that needed the most don't wear it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah, that's the truth, right? All right, well, look, that's just not a black problem, though. Let's keep it real. That's a human problem. That's a human. No, not even just society. That's a human nature problem. Because just think about it. Wars have been started over
misunderstandings.
Over
Misunderstandings,
over women, over whatever petty little thing.
Right.
It's not just a black problem.
Hatfield and McCoy. Shit, fucking pig.
There you go. So, you know.
I ain't know that was started over pig.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 'cause I watched a thing on the History Channel about them.
Damn.
So, it's a human nature issue. I think when we speaking of topics like that, that's a human nature issue. Also, was a human nature issue, like how you saying you don't know what they're going through. Their mom could be on drugs or whatever. All right, I'm pretty sure a lot of, especially people in the gun community.
Yeah.
Especially people in the gun community. There's a video going around right now where there was a guy and there's a husband and wife. The husband and wife started cussing the guy out. The guy went in the house, came back out with a gun, shot both of them dead.
Damn.
You do not know, and then went and go kill himself. Think about it. He did not. That didn't just happen like that. That guy, exactly. That guy had been going through something.
Man, he went left.
And what happened was those people just triggered his ass that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's another thing. Like if we were to show each other that common courtesy and that certain respect, and maybe it's just sometimes you might be able to kind of touch somebody and reach somebody and help somebody just by showing them a tad bit of kindness, man.
Instead of just like, you know what I'm saying, going the other way and kirking out and letting your energy match their energy. You know what I'm saying? You protect your own energy. You can bring their energy down. You ever walk in a room and somebody got an attitude problem or they got
everybody down? Hell yeah.
It's contagious, man. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying you gotta be a bitch and you know what I'm saying, be like, oh hey, like nah, like man, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even on that, man. I hope you have a good day, bro. You know what I mean? Like change that energy in the room, man, as soon as you walk in, you know what I mean?
You know what the strongest muscle in your body is? Your tongue.
Oh shit.
Well, your tongue. Well, that's strong too, but your tongue is so strong. Your tongue is so strong because you have the power to uplift somebody, but you also got the power to make somebody want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
So if we use that more so than using this and guns or whatever, because I mean it's not guns ain't even the big issue. It's the human, it's the person. Because a person, if you want to do harm, you can do harm with anything. A stiletto, a pipe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This container right here, you can break somebody's skull with that.
That's why I got it.
With a frozen soda bottle.
That's why I got this
like what's the twisted T jump? With a race hey listen,
you fuck somebody up with a twisted T jump.
Dude had no idea what he was.
Yeah, man.
He had no idea what he was after that happened. So I'm just saying, like, if we use our tongues and use them wisely, use them in a respectable manner. Like my lady tells me all the time, watch how you talk to people.
Yeah.
And I take light of that, you know what I'm saying? I don't take that lightly, but I definitely like to harness that because I have been able to get myself in and out of situations because of my mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good and bad, big or small, whatever it may be. But I try to make sure at any point in time, I'm making sure, number one, I'm trying to show the respect.
Yeah.
And when I'm with my family, I definitely want to show the respect because I don't want to put myself or my family in any type of situation. Mm-hmm. So
I'm getting there. I'm the hothead. I'm the one. I'm the lunchbox. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one. I'm the one niggas used to call when it was time to get it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it's time to go rumble some niggas, I'm the one I used to call. You know what I'm saying? So.
But for you to calm that down now, man, that shows a lot, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That means that anybody can, do that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's growth. You know what I mean? Like.
Let's take it back to guns. That's the reason why we having such a problem in the streets with these youngins, man, because they have that mentality. They have the type of mentality that you were just talking about, and then now they running around with a gun.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
And a whole bunch of emotions in a farm just don't mix at all.
So what can we do? What can we do as responsible firearm owners, as adults, as the growing leaders of the community? Because who else gonna be the leaders of the community when we get old? It's gonna be us, or it's gonna be the kids that's coming up under us. So we need to start reaching out to them and start doing something. In my mind, we need to have outreach programs that can number one, teach these youngers how to shoot from an early age. Number two, give them something to look forward to say, look, if you stay out of trouble, you can have this when you get older. Now, the problem with that is, like, if that young brother hungry right there on that spot, what you saying ain't gonna matter.
We need to see it. Community centers. I used to be a mentor for a community center in my community, and once the kids did their homework and shit like that, then me and my man taught them how to record their music studio settings, you know what I mean? So like programs like that, it gotta be something that appeals to them, that they like, whether it be sports, you know what I'm saying, music, something like that
who don't
really
like shooting guns?
Yeah, or that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
well, in our society,
but if you give them a chance, I bet you they might like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but in the proper, like you said, in the proper setting, instead of them just going out here and just purchasing the joint on the street and just. Because the last thing you need,
nigga, that man gets some.
Just give it some. Hey man, hold this for me.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because you got to realize too, a lot of people don't realize, a stupid friend is more of a danger to you than a smart enemy.
I was always taught, don't hang with stupid niggas. Stupid niggas get you late.
They will. They will.
Yeah.
They will. So once people understand that, like, it may be somebody they know for years, that homie they grew up with. If this person is kind of trying to encourage you and take you down the wrong path, you don't have to separate yourself completely, but you need to grow away from that person, because it may lead you to something that you ain't even ready for or you want to be bothered with. Yeah. So I got a story that I can tell y'all offline that I don't want to put on here. That saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have been in prison because of a stupid friend. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Now
I think we all could have been in prison.
Oh, yeah.
And it was something I was like, it just something that was like, get out the car now, because it's about to, you know what I'm saying? They like, we about to go handle something. You with us? Hell no. Nah. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Like, now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pull a cane from Minister Society. Let me out, son. Right. Let me out.
So, right. But nah, man. But once we start identifying that, and like you said, the accountability thing, showing people love, because love is not something they get. People think love is a chump, pussy, you're a punk, whatever. No, love is real, and love is what you need. Right. So
I just decided the other day, like, fuck it, I care about people.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck it, I care about people. Yeah. And I used to not give a fuck all that other stuff, and I was like, you know what? If I care about people too much, then fuck it, sue me. What about it? You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking at oh God, what's that new movie about Fred Hampton? The Messiah, somebody the Messiah. I was watching that, then I started watching The 13th by Ava DuVernay.
I never seen The 13th.
Man, you got to see that.
What's that on?
So The 13th, what people don't know is the 13th Amendment states that slavery in this country was abolished, except for in the prison system. So once you go to jail, you are literally a slave to the state. A lot of people don't know that, and that is actually, it's a real thing. It's not a game.
Like military too.
Well, yeah, probably. But you know what? Wow. I don't care what nobody got to say. If anybody try to test my manhood, we can play chess. We can go to a boxing match. We can do whatever. But every time I see Trayvon Martin's face, tears come to my eyes. Yeah. Every time I think about
his own damn
Emmett Till,
Joker got away with it.
I start, man, look, every time, I can't stare at Emmett Till's picture without tears coming to my eyes. And I'm a human, man. I don't give a damn. I don't care if it's you, a man ain't supposed to cry, all that other bullshit.
That's BS.
And fuck all that.
Bro.
When I see that, my hurts
Have you
so
ever
bad.
been to the African American?
Man, I stood in front of his coffin and cried, bruh. I don't care what nobody got to say. I stood in front of Emmett Till coffin and cried.
Like you might like, and I have done this when they showed me this picture in elementary school for the first time too. But when you go to the African American people, I don't know if y'all ever been there before, man. They got this man's coffin in the museum, and
the actual coffin.
They have pictures of his family. It looks like a church in there. They got gospel music playing. It's very quiet in there. It's white people in there too, wanting to see this. The shit it'll fuck you up.
It will.
If that nothing else in that museum don't move you, that shit right there will. You know?
I stood in front of that casket and I cried. I cried like a fucking baby because it just hurts to think that it's. You know what? It's infuriating. It's hurtful. It's infuriating. It's hurtful as a human being. Right. It's hurtful as a black man, and it's infuriating as a man and as a black man. It's infuriating to see what they did to that boy, to that little boy, to that child, and they're still doing it to this day. Man. That's why I'm tired, sick and fucking tired of all this kumbaya shit. Man, all this shit keep happening. We keep getting murdered in the streets. Yeah. Look, bruh, Philando Castile, rest in peace, my brother, was a licensed concealed carry holder, just like Marcus and I right now. Yeah. So that means that if something were to happen to him like that, the only reason I feel like I have a little more confidence in this area because we have a larger number of African American police officers. Don't have no
confidence in this area. Let me tell you something,
now, keep it real though. Keep it real. This is the reason why. I understand. Let me cut you off. Let me tell you the reason why. Because we have more black officers who can see me as a person instead of just of some fucking.
That's what saved me.
And even though there's some bam-ass black cops out there that want to try and show off a man to get that pat on the back.
What's a bunch of coons out there? Man. Oh yeah, shucking and jiving.
But I know that I have more of a chance of being treated like a human in this area because we have a higher level of black cops, and that's what we're talking about. We got to get inside the system, work the system for the inside, and then we can start affecting trends.
As you can see, our police force is changing, just like our
most definitely.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like
things are coming out.
In our police force, and one time my brother had a flat tire, right, and he called my mom like 3 o'clock in the morning. I think he was coming from that club or whatever. I gotta bring out too, man.
I got to go. Y'all bless y'all. Much love to y'all. Yeah. All right, y'all keep doing y'all thing. I'll be seeing with y'all later, man.
We about to wrap it up, but I'm gonna just tell this story, man.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hang back. Just have to speed a little bit on my way back.
So he called my mom. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. He, had a flat tire, man. So I'm like, nah, man, you don't need to be going out there to DC by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, to go get him. So hop in my car. We gonna go get him together. So we go out there, and he don't have a jack, you know what I'm saying? He just got the tire iron. So I'm looking at my trunk to try to get him, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he don't have a jack. I'm looking at my car to try to get the jack. So my mom is in the passenger seat, you know what I mean? And we're in the trunk, like outside in the trunk trying to look for the John, and the feds roll up. They ain't put no lights on, they ain't put no shine a flashlight or nothing. As soon as they hop out the car, put your fucking hands up in the air. What? I'm like, what the fuck? What's the problem, officer? I'm just trying to help my brother change his flat tire. It's a white officer and a black officer. The white officer is the one that put the gun up. You know what I'm saying? Held the gun up. The black officer was like, as soon as I said that, he's like, oh man, I'm sorry, man. Put y'all hands down. We thought y'all, he said, he thought y'all was doing a gun deal. I said,
on the bottom of the tire? Is that a good, that's saving face, huh?
Listen,
what is that?
So I'm on Bladensburg Road, right? Over there, like before you get to the old ice box, like before you get to the hotels. Listen, it's a police station right there, like within 50 feet. I'm like, get your fucking supervisor out here, dog. Right the fuck.
Make him walk up the street.
I said, dog, you got the right one today, cause I do this type of shit, man. I wrote the shit out of that, like they would write the report, man. And I called internal affairs on them, and cause they didn't push the shit through. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, like, so you feel powerless. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel powerless. Yeah. That's the reason why I have a firearm. Plain and simple. Let's just put it like this: we have the right to defend ourselves against anyone.
Yeah.
We have the right to defend ourselves. Let's get more specific. We have the right to defend ourselves against unlawful arrest.
Yeah.
All right, let's just put it like that. For the youngins who don't know, Tupac shot 2 cops and got off.
Absolutely.
All right, let's keep it real because he was defending himself. Not just shooting cops just because you want to or because you feel like something's wrong. No. If you have to defend yourself against a law enforcement officer, if you're in the wrong, then put your goddamn hands up and take your charge like a man. Stop acting like a little bitch.
Right.
But if you're in the right, then stand up for yourself. Because what's going to happen is, if you're in the right and something bad happens, you're going to die any fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stand up for yourself and protect your fucking life. That's all I got to say. I'm out.
I feel you, man. That was a good one, man. We're going to have to do this again, man.
Bless y'all.
Mumbo Sauce Podcast. What is the name? Oh, y'all got to plug y'all business for
Oh, yeah,
everybody,
man. Young Matthews Protection. Then we got mine's is Aries Civilian Defense. And then we got Bear Arms Training. We got MD Ready over here.
And mine's ML Matthews Enterprise. So definitely make sure you look us up. Hit us in our DMs. Call us on Instagram. I've had subscribers call me. People, it's whatever. We regular people. Hit us up. We real.
Yeah, for real. Straight up. We doing this for the streets, Holmes. Fuck all that.
All right, Mumbo Sauce Podcast. We out, man.
Thank y'all for joining, man. I love y'all, man. Everybody.